Wednesday, SportsCage. How you doing out there? It's your familiar voice here for the next 3 hours talking athletics. Coulson's in the pocket. A couple of different people are going to pop into the studio over the next 3 hours. Teagan from the pregame show. I spelled her name wrong today, too. That's my bad. She's going to be with us here in moments. We'll talk some Rider football. Greg from Piffle's podcast is coming in for hour 2 and 3. Jam-packed show. A show that I thought was going to be, there would be some time to breathe. Not the case today. We got lots from Rider Camp. Coach Mace, Trevor Harris. Exclusive interview, just us and Mario Anderson Jr. Wait till you hear that one. That's a lot of fun. Brent Dodginghorse, former WHL player, pro hockey player, coming into town for the Western Canada Professional Scouts Foundation, celebrating Indigenous hockey September 30th. We'll talk to him. Also, Friday Night Lights, high school football, our high school football feature. We're starting it today as we get ready for games tomorrow and Friday around the province. Today, we're going to talk to head coach of the Southie QPAR squad, Jarrett Ross. That's coming up in hour 2. Lots of Thunder and Rams talk when Greg gets here as well. Hour 3, since Darian is on holidays, lost his phone in an Uber, not the week for Darian that he wanted. We got Chris Getzlaf coming in to talk about the Rider. Really, we recorded it earlier today. Interesting to get Chris's take on a lot of things with the Riders this year. So that's in hour 3, and then the junior football report will finish things off for us. All of our guests are joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites you love, like souvlaki, ribs, and salad. Prairie Land Rentals text line is how you can talk to us. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street. You get to deal with the owner. They rent everything from a spade to a front-end loader, and they can deliver. 936-6262, the number to call if you got anything that you want to say. You're going to want to pay attention because they got winning to do today as well. SaskTel picked the score at some point. Not right now. At some point, when Coulson gives me the okay and he gets things loaded in the chute there, we'll play that. Then we're going to give away another Regina Rams prize pack. 2 tickets to the game Friday. It's a home opener against the Alberta Golden Bears. 2 Youth Ram hoodies, just smaller hoodies. You might fit them if you're an adult. And 2 water bottles. We'll give that away as well today. But like I said, right off the start of the show, one of my coworkers that also has 2 jobs, Teagan Witko, joining us here from the Rough Rider pregame show, postgame show, sideline reporting. What am I missing, Teagan?
Do you want to get into my other job, or?
Well, no, I do. I don't get into my other. Then it just confuses people.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do in-stand at local sport events, right? So I'll do stuff for the Regina Red Sox, Regina Pats. You'll normally see me yelling into a microphone, giving away prizes.
I used to listen to you when you were on The Wolf a lot.
Yeah, I did afternoons there for a
And
spell.
you're savvy with your musical artists as well. Any of the musical acts coming into town in the next little bit here interest you at all?
I would kind of like to see Bryan Adams. I mean, I feel like that's going to be a good show. Sheepdog's opening for him, right?
Yeah. What's your Bryan Adams tune? What's your go-to?
Well, I feel like you have to say Summer of '69.
Okay.
Why? What's better?
Heaven.
That is a good one.
It is.
I never like to admit when Barney's right, though.
Keith Urban always puts on a good show. I like talking music on the show as well, but let's talk Riders.
Yeah.
Post-game call-in show. I tune into it all the time. I think the last 2 weeks, it's an all-timer. The guy that calls in that thinks Justin Tucker should come kick for the Riders.
Do you have any idea how much money in the bank that guy has? He's not coming to Saskatchewan. Like that is absolutely absurd. But yes, Brett Lawther is by far the biggest talking point.
Today, you got it, Coulson? Coach Mace? We have comments from Coach Mace on Brett Lawther. We're going to go 2, 3, 4, Coulson, once you get a handle on things. Okay, so Teagan, here we go. Coach Mace at practice today, the question: is Brett Lawther meeting the standard?
Certainly in the totality of this season, no, not to his standard, not to our standard. In the same breath, looking at everything of what he's done, and also different other circumstances, I thought he had a better day. Not the 100% that everybody's looking for. but him being able to kick through it, showing improvement is what we're looking for. We're still always looking at, how the performance is from that standpoint. But we've been lucky enough to still push through and win some football games.
He seems very cautious with his words, doesn't he?
Very diplomatic. I don't think he wants to give anything away, and I don't know if we'll have a clear answer on what's going to happen in Winnipeg this week until the depth chart comes out.
And if he says anything, which he probably did there, and we're going to hear it on the text line right away, people are going to pounce on it. Mm-hmm. Right? Oh, that means that he's looking... Personally, again, just a guy that does a call-in show for 3 hours or a talk show, I think this is the game maybe that you kick Campbell Fair into the fire.
Do you think so?
I don't know why. And I'm like, Brett, let's take a 5. Have a sit down, spend time with your baby, and let's see if that changes things, helps things. And you know what? That's a pressure atmosphere. So you kind of find out too, if Campbell Fair can kick in that gong show that's going to go on in Winnipeg, then he can toss him into the fire.
I'm interested to see what practice is going to look like this week and how many reps Campbell Fair does get on the field. I think that'll be the biggest indicator that we're going to get. Coach Mace is not going to tell us one way or another, I don't think.
The other thing that he was asked today, because we were talking about this yesterday, Maz brought it up and kind of went down it a few times, is are they changing the game plan and plays because of Lawther's performance? So Coach Mace did talk about that and the in-game strategy.
No, I wouldn't say that specifically. It was something we talked about going into the game as we were expecting some pretty good win there going towards Pill Country anyway, so that's traditionally, we're always looking at that. And then certainly to catch them off guard, which I think worked out in our favor as well. So, I think we've seen to this point, there's been many times we put them out there and we expect the job to get done. So we'll continue to do that.
What did you think of the punt on third down? Have you ever seen that? Because are you a Bengals fan?
Yeah.
You ever seen that in the NFL, the CFL?
Not in recent memory.
Yeah.
No, that was a little concerning, if I'm being honest.
I love it. It's just it's so tricky. It's so, I think.
No one was expecting it, right?
No, and it obviously it's something you kind of want to keep in the toolbox until you really need it. I don't know if you really need it in the beginning of September, but I think it's worth a try there. You probably could still catch a team off guard at some point about it, and he lays down a beauty there. He does, but I'm also concerned because that is a good way to get hurt. Yeah, see?
I don't like that.
That's the mum coming out in you.
I'm concerned, okay?
You're going to get hurt.
Don't injure yourself. I've seen enough people get injured on the sidelines, okay? It's not fun. It's not good to watch.
It was like he hit a nice little Pro V there, had the right spin on the green. It stuck. I thought it was impressive. I love the call. Again, as a Patriots fan, talked about this yesterday, like Tom Brady punted on third down to catch teams by surprise. And that's the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mace again here. He talks about how many chances will Lawther get to perform?
Until we see that he doesn't, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Oh, that was quick.
Again, very political. Very political. Oof.
We're not getting a lot from Coach, which I love. It's the chess game with the media.
Oh, absolutely it is. And you don't want to show all of your cards this early in the week either. We're coming off a win. And may I remind you, this is a 9-2 team. Yeah. Okay, it's not like Lawther is causing the team to lose or he's going to be the downfall. Now, granted, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are chiming in saying, well, in a big game, he might be the downfall, but that hasn't been the situation yet. Lawther has been in this position before, and he has bounced back. We don't want to... No one wants to leave it to that big game. I know.
Especially at this point.
No.
It's like you're going on a long road trip. You know your brakes are a little sketchy, and you're doing a lot of mountain driving. It's like, I don't know if we want to leave it till we go down some of those passes and up and down and all that. But I get that as well. The one thing we're gonna have Mario Anderson in a bit here. You had a chance to talk to him post game. Sounds like quite the fella.
Oh, he was grinning ear to ear. First 2 career CFL touchdowns in one game in the Labor Day Classic in front of the biggest crowd ever at Mosaic Stadium. That was pretty special. And he knew that, too. His teammates were just as pumped as he was.
I don't know if you have it, Colson, but Curtis ran the video of it yesterday, and you can't help but feel how excited he was when he gets into the end zone. Like it's like, 6 Red Bull and some Effies later. Like he is right here. If you're watching the stream, he gets in and he gets up right. Like that is a kid having fun right there.
I could rewatch that clip all day.
Yeah.
So cool. It
was great to see. What else from the team? Because your football, even though you're a Bengals fan, what else really impresses you about this team? 2 losses, like you said, but you're down there on the sideline watching. What impresses you?
I think overall, just especially Trevor Harris spreading that ball around, it's a different guy up all the time in that receiving core, and they are so solid. You never know who, and that's really beneficial for the team because that makes it really hard to defend against this team, right? Who is Harris going to throw to tonight? And man, he can throw a dart. Man.
Yeah. And it's the only thing, and we see it with other quarterbacks, we see it with quarterbacks everywhere, his timing, right? Mm-hmm. And then if he has time to go through 1, 2, even that third check down guy, it's good. Where Calgary seemed to have our number on that.
Mm-hmm. I also feel as though it's that O-line. I mean, you got to keep the quarterback upright. Yeah. And that O-line has really shown up this season. Again, maybe not so much against Calgary in those 2 games, but we don't need to talk about that.
You're on the sideline a lot. And I know you don't want to give away a lot. It does seem like a really cohesive unit. They all have each other's backs. I'm sure there's bickering because they're all alpha males for the most part, and there's stuff going like that. But it seems like this team is pretty tight.
They keep each other in check. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. If you make a mistake, you're aware when you get back on that sideline. But there is a lot of camaraderie, and it does feel like this team is something special. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people way smarter than me compare this team, the same feel, to the 2013 Rider team.
Yeah. The tent on the sideline, are there any
I've taken a peek, don't worry.
Any secrets? Like, are you starting to learn, like, if I stand over here, they won't see me, kind of like, hey, it's
I don't want to
second
give
day
away
of school.
all my secrets.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I will say on extra windy days, it makes my life a little easier to see, okay, is he upright? Is he laying down? Is he favoring a leg? But again, I don't want to get in front of myself. I am not a medical professional. I just report what I see, Barney.
No, that's great. Okay, what are you expecting? Are you going to the game by chance? Winnipeg?
This week? Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's Winnipeg.
I know.
No, I'm kidding.
I would love to go. Wearing green there, you're obviously going to hear it. What are you expecting for the game? It's going to be tough.
Yeah. I think you're going to see more Oliveira. I think they're going to try to rework after watching some tape there. So I think that the Riders D has their work cut out for them. But hey, we got to commend them and Malik Carty from this past game. Like, holy smokes, they defended well. So I am expecting a bit of it's going to be another barn burner, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
I
don't need it to be as stressful as this past week.
Yeah.
I don't know if my heart can handle that.
You're still young.
Oh.
Yeah. Lot of miles left in that ticker. Okay, the bigger question though, Bengals 4.5-point favorites in Cleveland.
Yeah, the Bengals are going to win this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I might take the Browns there. Cover that.
Yeah.
This is just such a dumpster fire. It's week 1. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty early still.
And you're from Moose Jaw?
Correct.
Okay, so we're doing our Friday Night Lights. We're starting our high school feature this week. And what high school?
Peacock.
I like their jerseys. Good
They're
colors.
They're very nice.
Very sharp
nice.
colors. All right. So was there a big rivalry with, what's the other one?
Central. Yeah, Peacock Central was always kind of the ones that were button heads, at least from what I can recall, and we always hated Central. Those pep rallies were a lot of fun, though.
We got to mark that down. Peacock, Teagan's was a Peacock.
Go Toilers.
There you go.
Tornadoes.
Thanks for doing this. I know you're busy with the 3 jobs.
It's fine.
Come on and talk.
You know what? Football. I'd much rather talk football than go work on spreadsheets and build proposals, if I'm being honest.
Right on. Okay, thanks so much for doing this. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We're going to hear from some of the riders today. It is the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com and on the home of the green and white 620 CKRM. Wednesday Sports Cage, brought to you by Regina Motor Products. Early tire swap. It's been cold in the mornings. At night, it's book early. It's the early tire swap. Save $10 on your on-rims tire changeover, $20 on your off-rim tire changeovers. That's a good deal. So call Regina Motor Products. Get those tires. It's inevitable. You're going to need the tires changed over the winters. Can't be riding on bald tires in the wintertime in Sasky. If you just moved here, don't do it. Don't be that guy or girl. Colson's with me. Greg from the Piffles Podcast going to join us in a bit. Prairie Land Rentals text line going on there. Going to get to a couple of the Peacock fans for Teagan. It was nice. We'll have to bring her on more often. She is a busy lady, though, no doubt about that. Cold mornings, getting to that, Colson, it's that football weather. That's how I feel. And if you're out there, if you're like me, if you're an old has-been wash-up, doesn't it remind you, if you played high school football, it reminds you this weather of kind of getting out there, running around. Maz and I talked about it yesterday. I was coaching the kids with flag yesterday. Same thing. Also, the cool nights, if you have a hot tub, you know what I'm talking. Perfect hot tub weather right now. But this is football weather. And that's where our Friday night lights coming up in hour 2. We're going to talk about high school football again. The email, hi, at sportscage.com. Thanks to everyone who's messaged in about your community, what games you got coming up, the big rivalry games or the games where under the lights as well, because there's the portable lights now. Pretty cool how they roll those in and out of schools. 6-a-side, 9-a-side, 12-a-side. Some of the 12-a-side they started last week. We ran down those yesterday. So still more football to come up on the high school side later. Let's go back to audio today, Colson, and I want to go to the Trevor Harris audio. And what he was asked, knows that what to expect in the Labor Day rematch.
Hornet's nest, man. It's what we're kind of walking into. We know that, and but we feel like we can bring what we need to do to extinguish it, and it's going to be no easy task, though. We know they're a great team, and their backs against the wall. They're coming off of a loss in a big game, and so we know we're going to get their best effort, and so it's going to be a fun one.
I really want to go to the game. I'm not going to. I can't. Too many things going on. If you're going to the game, you got to let us know. 936-6262. When Greg comes in here from Piffles in the second hour, they're doing the bus to Winnipeg. I think that'd be the way to go. Get a bunch of crazed fans. Have a few cocktails if that's your thing. If not, lots of laughs, all that. But yeah, the win in Winnipeg would go a long way. And let's be honest, we're watching the Calgary Stampeders. I can't see, after watching most of that game with Edmonton and Calgary last weekend, I can't see Edmonton beating that Calgary team. And I know it's football and anything can happen and weirder things have happened, yada yada. I think Calgary is going to roll. We did play the Calgary schedule last week with was it Farhan that we played it with? There isn't a lot of. There are some losses. The Lions are Jekyll and Hyde. They're two-faced. You don't know what you're going to get out of the Lions. They still got to go to Montreal. They got to go to Hamilton. They got to go to the Hammer. October 11th. Thanksgiving. Yeah, I like the Tiger Cats and that one. So still more to come. Harris, because it's going to be noisy, and a lot of you going there to the game, he tells us how he's going to prepare for the noise.
You've got to prepare for it. Same way they probably did last week. They're silent cadences, and then your different cadences within that, and you just want to make sure that you're ready, because if not, that could be something that could really affect the game if you start getting behind the chains because you're delay a game or offsides. So we even started prepping for it a little bit last week. We did a couple periods where we were working our silent cadence just because we hadn't had to do too much of it this year yet.
Yeah, professional football, you got to do it. Prepare for the noise. A lot of teams do it when they come this way to Mosaic Stadium. That's the beauty about it. Now, the punt. The punt from Trevor Harris. And yesterday, Coach Daniels was talking about how he saw him stretching. A little stretch in, thought it was going. He talks about he was caught stretching on that quick punt.
It was right when we broke the huddle. I was like, I'm running at yank a hammy here. So I just kind of give it a quick stretch real quick. I mean, I wouldn't think that they would be like, he's stretching his hamstring, he's going to punt it. And so it was just kind of one of those things, just a quick stretch.
Oh, that's good. Okay, and then he takes us through the kick from when the call came in.
I was like, let's go get a safety. I'm a weapon. No, I was more or less just, I got the snap, and I'd done it before in college a few times, and kind of just put it on the old foot and kick her down there and try and put it outside the hash. That way we have a chance to possibly recover it, but give our guys a chance to kind of, throw the net out and make a tackle and, get them backed up if we can. And I knew worst case scenario, if I kind of put it out there and kind of let it roll, the worst case scenario would kind of be a single. And best case scenario, I thought, we'd kind of pin them deep and make them go 108 yards against our defense.
If you're watching the stream, we're playing the video. Okay, here it is again. He kicks it from the 50, and it lands at the 20. And he gets, I said to Teagan it was like Pro V spin, but it was more like a noodle or a top flight with all that top spin. And it rolls down. And I think, didn't we all think that we had a safety there? Especially where I was standing watching the game. I love the play. Will they use it again? That's the other thing. Can you catch a team by surprise twice? I think you can, because there's so many things going on in a football game, especially intensity later in the season. If it is a playoff game, whatever, so much is going on. Teams, just like a lot of plays, they'll say, hey, be prepared for this. If it's an onside kick or some sort of gadget play or trick play, call it what you want. I think there's still something there. You might be able to catch a team sleeping. Not as easy if you didn't show it, no doubt about it. So we'll hear more from Harris coming up later in the show, and then tomorrow as well. Mario Anderson Jr., 2 touchdowns for the Riders. Like when Teagan was in, sounds like such a great guy. We'll go to break. When we come back, we're going to chat with Mario Anderson Jr. If you got any questions for him, 936-6262 on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. It is the Sports Cage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. Welcome back to the Sports Cage on this Wednesday for Regina Motor Products. Regina Motor Products right now, if you're thinking about the tire changeover, they are place to go until October 31st. They get the early bird on, save $10 or $20. Depends if you got rims on or off your tires. Regina Motor Products in Regina. All right, Western Pizza Guest Hotline. We teed it up. Mario Anderson, how about the game for this guy in the Labor Day Classic? He's joining us right now on the cage. Okay, simple question: have you come down from the high of the Labor Day Classic on Sunday yet, Mario?
Oh yes, sir, most definitely. I take at least a day to just think about everything that I've done. Also, I had like my very first run. I left a lot of meat on the bone. Could have done way better. So, I'm very hard on myself and my coaches as well. But I have come down from that, yes, sir.
What was the atmosphere? What you expected?
Crazy. I honestly, no, I didn't expect that. It was crazy, and I love every bit of it.
Because you played some college ball at some pretty big stadiums too, right? It kind of has the same feel.
Oh, most definitely. I played at, University of South Carolina and Memphis and everything where, it's at least 50 to 100,000 people. And it was the same kind of feeling, same kind of, crawly feelings that I had in my arm before the games and everything. So it was definitely a great atmosphere and a great experience being here.
When you wake up Sunday morning, prepare for every a game like you always do, I'm sure. Do you envision scoring a touchdown? Do you envision scoring 2?
So I try to be the best teammate that I can be for that game, whatever my job is for that game, whether it's running the ball or on special teams. But yes, I do envision myself scoring touchdowns as much as I can.
When the Riders, injury problems and what happens to Kadeem, unfortunately, and they bring you back, in late July after they release you. Take me through the process. What were you doing? Obviously staying in shape, but what were you doing in that window before the Riders brought you back?
So I started working in a barbershop back at home, getting all my paperwork and everything ready to start working in a barbershop. And I was cutting hair in a barbershop, at home doing house calls, or I was helping out with the varsity football team at my old high school. So I was, the varsity running backs coach as well at my old high school.
How were you staying in shape, though? Were you running with the kids out there?
No, I definitely was. I definitely was. And my old strength coach, he's still there at Stratford High School. So every off season, since 2019, when I first got to college, I always go with Coach Shep in the weight room and on the track with my high school coaches. The community, they really support me in my journey and everything that I've been through. So they pour a lot into me as far as, letting me work out and being active and staying around all the kids and everything.
When the Riders, released you and you had to go home, did you feel you would be back here? Was there that, in your gut, you felt, I'm going to be back here sometime here in the near future?
Yes, sir. I was very hopeful of it, controlling things that I could control while I was here before I got released, whether that was, being a good teammate, being a good support system, doing everything that I could, and just, being an all-around good person. I think that's ultimately why I got the call to come back, other than the game of football, to be honest.
What's it like looking over and seeing your coach, Andrew Harris, who has, as many great cups as the Riders do, and a guy that looks like he can still run the ball probably if you really need him?
Yeah. So Coach Harris, he's really pushed me every single day to my limits as far as my study habits, what I should and should not be doing, how I need to be playing the position and stuff, and just different little tweaks to help me in my game, to help me excel where I want to go. So just being able to, when I score and just seeing him happy as can be, not only him, but, AJ Ouellette and the rest of my teammates, just everybody, it's just a real warm, good feeling that I experience, and just know that, this team is built, the culture is built on love and family for sure. And, it was a very good feeling to see that.
It seems, as a fan, and you watch, the veteran at quarterback there, and it's like, I don't want to screw anything up here, because he seems like having a coach, Trevor Harris, having a coach on the field and being that extra, elder statesman out there. Is that kind of what you guys feel?
I can't speak for everybody, but I mean, for me, I definitely, line up beside him in the backfield. I definitely don't want to have no mishaps or anything like that, to be able to get in his way for sure. So, knowing my job and what I need to do, but also, being on my P's and Q's so that I can protect him and just, be active.
I don't know if they had it down at home. Did you have any family here for the game outside chance, or were they watching the game?
All my family watches the game at home. Yes, sir. So,
yeah, excited. First call was to who?
First call, my mom. She's overseas right now in Korea.
Oh,
so she was the very first call after the time zone kind of was able to help a little bit. So I called her, and then I called my uncle and my dad and them. So yeah, everybody got a call for sure.
Right on, man. That's super cool. Okay, last question. This is the big one. Are you doing any cutting for the team? Are you kind of the barber now? Yeah, I know they got a little barber shop there. Are you getting your work done there too?
Yes, I got, after this interview right here, I got 3 heads to go cut after this. So, yes, sir.
Well, I'm sure if you stick around in the off season, we can kind of promote it for you. I'm sure you could have a nice little business up here cutting hair. Thanks so much for doing this. Congratulations. It was fun to watch, and continued success. Have fun in Winnipeg this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Right on. There he is, Mario Anderson Jr., a couple of tutties, as the kids say, on the weekend in the Labor Day Classic for the Riders. Gotta love it. And don't be messaging in. We don't know if he's cutting hair for the general public. He's doing it for the team. It's a Sports Cage. We are the home of the Riders on 620 CKRM. Welcome back to the Sports Cage, home of local sports in the province. We'll get to more Rider stuff coming up here in a bit. It's now time for the Indigenous Sports Spotlight. Kind of twofold this time. It's always brought to you by Fries Tallman Lumber in Regina and Fort Qu'Appelle. There's so much more than lumber. If you're going to the big box stores and you're hunting around for things, go talk to the experts. Fries Tallman in Fort Qu'Appelle or Regina. They'll get you hooked. What if maybe it's a last minute deck this year, some siding, decking, they can do it all. They have, and if you don't want to do it yourself, they'll find you a contractor. Fries Tallman, supporting the Indigenous Sports Spotlight. This week, we're going to talk to Brent Dodginghorse. Great junior career. Did play some senior in the area as well. And he's going to be in town for the Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation as they host their event celebrating Indigenous hockey legends. It's September 30th at the Connexus Arts Center. It's in conjunction with National Truth and Reconciliation Day. A lot of great speakers coming in. Ron DeLorme, the King Brothers, John Nasty Marasti, Jordan Tutu, Rich Pilon, Brian Trottier, Dave Tiger Williams, and more to be added later. Brent will be in on that. Like I said, Brent is coming in to speak and be a part of the Western Canada Professional Hockey event, September 30th here in Regina. Brent, it's a great event. It's gaining steam. It's on National Truth and Reconciliation Day, September 30th. For you, as a player, First Nations player that's played a lot of hockey, I'm sure you are still out there. You are, helping grow the game when it comes to youth on the First Nations side of things.
First of all, thanks for having me. Second of all, this game or this particular organization had reached out to me, I believe, 3 years ago. And because of what it stood for, bringing awareness to the scouts and recognizing Indigenous scouts and kind of the Hall of Famer scouts, the ones that are kind of unrecognized, the ones that do a lot of travel in the winter time, and really they're the guys that go unnoticed in the hockey world. And because a group of guys in Okotoks really kind of led the way there, and there's some well-connected NHL GMs and brass and also scouts that are a part of it, and I just really enjoyed the event. And
yeah.
They really got talking about Indigenous inclusion, and that's how I've been a part of it for 3 years. So I just kind of felt it was the right thing to do to partner with them and advocate for Indigenous people. And I think it's going to be an opportunity to educate people on TRC and the calls to action, and also a chance to collaborate and partner with non-Indigenous people and teach them about how kind and good our people are. I played in the era of in the 90s and 2000s where it was honestly there was no rules, and I can't even use the word right now, but it was tough to play back then. And I have a lot of respect for the older players that went through that, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And there was a lot of trailblazers that blazed a trail for me. And I was very fortunate to spend some time with some Indigenous NHLers and Sandy McCarthy and Gino Ojic and Theron Fleury, just to name a few, and the Tutu brothers and Sheldon Surrey and Norm Miracle. And, there's a lot of advocates out there that really taught me on how to stick together and always promote your Indigenous pride. And, not only that, but educating non-Indigenous people in Canada, of the 40 million people of, they're on Indigenous lands on Canada and North America, and the importance of building allyship, because when, the goal is to get the Canadians to be allies with Indigenous people and just move forward together and work together and work as one.
Go back to your days, Brent, and maybe it was that, as a rookie with the Vernon Vipers in 95-96, where you guys made that magical run to the RBC. Do you remember much about scouts coming up to you when you were younger, and how did they embrace you as a First Nations player?
There was high-profile athletes in our area. Scott Gomez was drafted out of our league or taken out of our league, and they were watching him. And obviously, scouts were always around, and they'd interview players from your team. And, I think as Indigenous people or people of color, we always knew that we had to work a little harder or keep our image a little more in check. And we always knew at that time that there was there was not a shadow, but there was always that doubt of, they're from the res, or, they're from people of color, and there's always that question mark. So I think we always had to work a little harder and, beat that stereotype. I didn't let it bother me because of the love of the game, and fortunately enough that there was Indigenous scouts in the NHL, and they gave me my opportunity, and also people that knew me from, Western Canada, like, the Sutters and the Sutter brothers gave me an opportunity in Calgary. And I just, it's important to have allies, and it's important to have Indigenous people as representation in the league. And it's come a long ways. Native players that won the cup, and I'm so proud of White Cloud and Carter Bear getting drafted, and all these Tutu making a big statement in the NHL, and all these up-and-coming players that are inspired by the trailblazers that were set, much like the ones that played 20, 30 years ago.
Great. Well, it's going to be an awesome event, Brent. Looking forward to chatting with you more and hearing more about the journey, and I really appreciate you taking some time today.
Anytime, bud. I appreciate it. Take care, and I look forward to chatting with you while I'm in Regina.
That is the Indigenous Sports Spotlight again. Brent Dodginghorse, one of the speakers coming up September 30th here in Regina at the Connexus Arts Center on the Professional Scouts Foundation, and they celebrate Indigenous hockey. It's going to be a great event. Again, some of the names, the DJ and Dwight King for Meadow Lake, John Nasty, Marasti, Jordan Tutu, Rich Pilon, Brian Trottier, Dave Tiger Williams, on and on. For tickets, you can go to the Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation webpage. The Indigenous Sports Spotlight is brought to you by Fries Tallman Lumber in Regina and Fort Qu'Appelle. If you're looking to get that fall job in place, go and talk to them. They can help you out if you're a do-it-yourselfer, or if you need someone to do that job. No use going to the big box stores. Fries Tallman Lumber, always supporting Indigenous athletes. It's a Sports Cage, the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. For all your hot water needs, call on Reliance Heath today.
Riders are back on the practice field today, and guess what? Coach Mace had to answer questions about Brett Lawther. One of them was, how many chances will Lawther get to perform?
Until we see that he doesn't, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
There you go. Short and sweet from Coach there. Major League Baseball tonight, Toronto, Cincinnati, 4:30 start there. Western Hockey League preseason, the Regina Pats are in Swift Current, take on the Broncos. The Blades are up in Paradise to take on the Raiders. Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League preseason, Flin Flon and La Ronge, 7:30. SportsCage.com poll today, which preseason favorite is most likely to win the Super Bowl? Go and vote at SportsCage.com. Tickers for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals, keeping you in hot and soft water. Call on Reliance. Hour 2 coming up. We're going to chat with Greg from the Piffles podcast and also Friday Night Lights. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM. Oh. We're slick. I guess we're not going to break. Greg's here right now, so let's talk. Let's go quick 2 minutes with him. Wow, what an operation we got going here. Okay, let's go. Let's drop this on people then. SaskTel picked the score 936-6262. Riders Bombers Saturday. What's the score? Let us know what you think. You got a chance to win tickets to the September 13th game versus Montreal. Did you see they got a ticket Ticket special for that game today, the Riders do.
The 23 and 34, yeah. Legends game. Well, George and Ronnie action on that one. Hell of a deal.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull up the do you remember the prices?
23 and 34, that's all I remember.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Riders, Bombers, SaskTel gift card up for grabs as well as the tickets. Quickly, in a minute and a half, Labor Day game.
I lost my voice. And we did a post-game after.
At which point?
All of it.
Just scream for the whole thing. 3 hours of screaming.
You sure felt like it's
like
some
a Taylor
days.
Swift concert.
Hey, easy now. I don't think I'd ever...
Like a Spice Girls concert.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. That was the loudest I've heard that new stadium. That reminded me of the old girl. It was quite the crowd.
Do you take it up a notch when Alford fumbles or when Harris does the pooch punt?
Honestly, I think that Tommy Neal touchdown is probably the loudest ovation Tommy Neal is ever going to get in his career.
That was a great pattern.
Great throw. Great pattern, great throw. And the minute he broke through, it sounded like a jet engine taking off. It was crowd just ramped all the way up.
We got a text on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. Graham from Winnipeg. He's a Rider fan. He's going to be at the game with my wife, a Bomber fan. Yes, it is possible not to get divorced. You're not going to the game now, though.
I'm not going to the game now. No, that's the worst thing about the Banjo Bowl and the Hilltops Thunder game, always being on the same week these days. My allegiances are split, so last minute decision, I have given up my seat on the bus, and I will be at the Thunder Hilltops game.
That bus is going to be rocking.
2-day trip going to Winnipeg for 2 days on purpose. I don't know
where are they staying. Viscount Gort?
No, it's Polo Park, Sandman, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember.
Close to the festivities.
Yeah.
Lock your doors. It is the Sports Cage. Now we're going to break. Colson says we're streaming at sportscage.com. Hour 2 is coming up. Greg's going to stick around and Friday Night Lights on the 620 CKRM. Welcome back. Hour 2. I promise you, going to do better than the last 10 minutes of Hour 1. That was Poppy was a little sloppy. As they used to say, it's Colson's with me, and now Greg from the Biffles podcast is joining us. Hey, it's a live show. Things happen. Sister told me this early in my broadcast career. You're not saving lives. No, I am not. So we'll bounce back. Hey, it's all about if the effort is there. Are we putting in the effort? And let me tell you, the effort has been there today. If you can't make fun of yourself, then what good is it, right? Okay, Greg, let's talk about a few things. Those tickets are $23 and $34, certain sections for the Riders today only against Montreal. Bring in some horns as well, some paper-made things. Let's get loud against Montreal. There, if you're watching the stream, 13th at 5 p.m. The Alouettes are coming into town. Okay, let's go to the Labor Day Classic, and let's talk about a few things here. The pass interference call late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I talked about this yesterday, and I know you were listening. I don't know if you ever used to watch Seattle Seahawk games when Russell Wilson would just throw it up to Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
And then Lockett would flop around, and they'd get the call. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, Dembski 100% played that.
Right?
At the line of scrimmage, I called him, this one's going to be deep to Dembski, and if he can't catch it, he's going to slow up, and our guy's going to run in the back of him. And Jackson Ford on cue.
There it is, if you're watching the stream. So I would think that every team, and I know there's guys, just like when guys sometimes take a dive in hockey at a key moment, or whatever, it's like, it's no integrity in the game. That's not how you play it. I almost guarantee every team's got this in their back pocket.
Oh, 100%. You know when it's coming down to the end of the game and you need either a touchdown late or you need to be near the end zone for a touchdown and there's still time on the clock. You either need to do anything you can to catch that ball or draw the flag.
And like Glenn said yesterday, it's pass interference. We're not debating that at all. It's just that was the play. And if you come down with it, great. If not, sell it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. What about the face mask play?
Okay, that was garbage. That was straight garbage. I have no idea how that did not get called. And the worst part is about them now being a replay center, no longer a command center. They're not going to. They can't call down from up high anymore. He was literally looking out his ear hole before his helmet came off.
So they can't call that.
Apparently now, yeah, that's why it's now the replay center, not the command center.
But they've already done that this season. They have stepped in and changed things, or they haven't made a call where there isn't a call, which is what this is.
Well, that's exactly it.
So
we've had some text messages saying the exact same thing that you're saying, Colson. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I'm like...
I've never seen them call a penalty. I've seen them call down to adjust where spots are and to... But nothing...
I gotta think. And it happened in the Labor Day game as well, and I can't remember exactly. If someone you know what I'm talking about, message in. There was a play, and the refs they called it, but then they kind of gathered. And you see this in the NFL all the time. And I think you see it in the NHL now, where the refs will huddle. They got the earpiece in. Whoever's up in the booth, they're saying, hey, pick up that flag. It wasn't a flag. Pick it up. And then they go, no flag on the play. Like they're those guys on the field that are getting, I'm sure they're making a decent living. They can't see it all. You need that help. Why don't we just have that everywhere?
There's purists out there.
Yeah,
100%. There's
baseball guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the minute the robot umps are coming in, you know someone's going to lose it. But the fact remains is, yeah, it's human error. But at the same time, I'd argue, what's more important, getting it right or old school things? But the thing is, the sport is so fast. There's so much bang bang. You could replay everything. The old adage is there's holding on every play.
Yeah.
So are we going to get to the point where we're just going to get everything right? You have to have that fudge factor in there. Yeah, there's a balance to it.
I think, I think they should just keep doing, maybe not so much the CFL, because they'll need to work on it. They'll need to tweak it. How the NFL does it, and we're going to start, tomorrow. And I'm not being like, oh, NFL guy. No, it's just they have it pretty good. Mind you, they have as much money as they want at their disposal. They could have who knows how many people watching the game. But you, everybody listening, Colson, possibly, you all watch football. You see it. You're watching it. You're sitting with your buddy on the couch or your wife or your dog or whatever, and you're watching the game and you go, whoa, they missed that. That's all it is. You don't really have to dissect it any more than that. You just need a few guys watching the game.
And I agree. But at the same time, it's supposed to be if it's clear and concise. Problem is, when you have, especially when the coaches challenges, you have these replays going on forever. There needs to be a 90-second clock on these things. If the replay official can get it figured out in 90 seconds and the call wasn't made or the call was made and the coach is challenging, then it's not clear.
Don't you think, you're like me, you could do that job?
I would love that job.
Sit in a booth and just be like, no, they missed that. They picked up the flag. That literally took 5 seconds.
100%.
I just don't know if they got to be overthinking it a lot of times. And it's like, yeah, make it quick and snappy, in and out. His head got ripped off.
Yeah.
There was a face mask there. Throw a flag. Well, pretend the guy in the back saw it. Lie to us. Lie to me, Jerry. Lie to us.
But and that's where it comes down to. It's like something like a guy literally has Willette's helmet in his hand.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, I have no idea how it magically ended up there. It's like Happy Gilmore. It's like, I didn't break the rake and throw it in the trees.
Look at him. The Bomber guys look. If you're watching the video on the stream, watch him look around right after he does this. He goes, right here. This is it. He's totally busted. He's like, oh, I'm a heat bag.
Oh, hey, look, his helmet ended over here somehow.
There's no flag on the play. What the? Even the guy on the ground looking, he's like, I think he just ripped his head off. Yeah. So a lot of people were going into the weeds on that, talking about that.
But that play could have changed the entire outcome of the game. That should have been another first down for the Riders, and they would have kept going. It's just, yeah.
A lot of pass interference calls happen because of a QB's terrible throw. Too bad that couldn't figure into the call. It's a text message.
The ruling is if it's uncatchable, it's not pass interference, but that's always a fine line. What deem
very subjective, right?
Yeah, it's like what's uncatchable for Odell Beckham Jr. back when in his prime is way different than Wes
Welker,
Barney in his prime.
Barney's prime had sick mitts. I've always said that too. It's like, okay, well, if a guy's 6'7", and he can jump, still could have got that. It's not catchable for the guy that's 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get your take on this, and this not to do with the Labor Day Classic or the rematch coming up this weekend, but the word that the Toronto Argonauts are playing home games at Mosaic Stadium caught me off guard. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, so the Argos are going to play Calgary or BC halfway, play in Regina, see if you get 2-3. Here's a question. How many people would they get? Let's say Toronto played a neutral site game against BC in the hotbed, the heart of football country that we think we are in Saskatchewan. How many fans would go to that game? And honestly.
Depends on the price of the tickets.
$20.
Hilltop's Thunder might outdraw that this weekend.
Yeah. I think $2,000.
I was going to say, yeah, probably maybe 3, 4 if you give away some tickets to kids. And
why do the kids always got to get free tickets?
Yeah, I don't know.
What about the adults getting free tickets? Hey, what about the guys working and the girls working over there?
Yeah.
But it caught me off guard. That's what they went with, and then so the commissioner was on the pregame show with the crew before, and they hammered him, and they kept hammering him, and then a little bit more, and he was adamant, and it's MLSE that's making the decision. And then the other part where, again, not knowing a lot of times my head from my you-know-what, he brings up the fact that there is a lot that goes into configuring some of these stadiums to be CFL ready.
Yeah, and that's when it happened. I totally understood what was going on here. MLSE doesn't want to spend the money to revamp Western or revamp one of those university schools stadiums for a couple of games. It's more financially lucrative for MLSE to play a home game, in air quotes, against the Riders in Saskatchewan and buy the game off of the Riders.
The only, again, the numbers people at MLSE would be way more dialed than us. But I'm just sitting there going, okay, this is the same organization that has two different types of turf in their end zone. In 2025,
they don't control that, though. That's the problem.
It's still, we're configuring. You don't want to configure a stadium to have the same consistent turf all the way through. It's like back in the day at Candlestick Park or Oakland, where it's like, we're going with baseball field. We're going with baseball field until the baseball team's done. Which I went to a game at Oakland Coliseum, one of the last years they played, and the baseball field was there. Yep. And I'm sitting there, my little pigeon hands, and I'm collecting dirt because we had a field pass. Yeah. I'm collecting dirt in this Ziploc bag. I mean, I don't know where it is, but I'm like, this is a good idea. That was so weird when you look back, because I bet you if you show a lot of kids nowadays, they're like, why is
there a baseball diamond in the middle of a football game?
Hold on here. And then the poor running backs that I'd have to get tackled in that garbage. That was unreal. But I don't know enough about the Greater Toronto area. I don't wear a tight sport coat and jeans. I'm not that guy. Tight. I just don't know why you wouldn't. There's got to be a stadium there. And then the other thing that came to my head is like, why not give a game to Saskatoon?
Well, technically the Riders did. That's why they're
I love that.
They're getting the preseason. It's smart, actually. It's better for the Riders this way. But going back to your Toronto point, I started looking around, see what the capacity of those university stadiums are. You're looking at 2,000, 3,000. You're looking like a little bit bigger than Leibel. So to actually expand that, and yes, make fun of the Argos fan base as much as you want, they should be able to fill one of those. You're still going to have to expand it, especially because one of those games...
They're that small?
Yeah. U of T is only 3,000, I believe. Western, I think, is 2,500, something like that. They say they're expandable, but how expandable are they really?
You're making so much money off the World Cup of soccer.
Exactly.
Play in front of 35 Hyundai. But the travel expense...
Well, and that's why I think when they do this, because like you said, one's in Hamilton, so that's a bus trip for them. They really don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't really affect anything, and their fans will actually get to go. One's in Winnipeg, one's in Regina. So what I think you're going to see is a home and home, air quotes, on following weeks with Toronto in Regina. So Chad Kelly hitting the old Dudney strip. Everyone get your cameras.
Heads up, physical therapists. What about BC? Now, what are they? Omar Doman.
Yep.
He's pretty good marketer.
Great owner.
Have you been watching the Dallas Cowboys thing on Netflix?
I've been.
You haven't watched it yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
You got okay. Once you watch it, we're gonna have to break it down on the show here. But I think that so Glenn thought maybe Victoria would be in play again there.
That was my immediate when they didn't announce anything. I'm thinking they're finalizing something similar to that. They're just getting their logistics in a row.
But what a interior. I don't know. John Keane listens sometimes from Kamloops. What is the Kamloops Stadium? I don't know what's in Kelowna. What are maybe those would be around the 3,500?
They've got BCFC stadiums out there. I would assume they're only the size of Leibel, just based on photos I've seen. It's not like they have massive stadiums for the Kamloops Broncos or the Okanagan Sun or any of those guys out there. I think Victoria probably is the play.
Yeah, but it'd be great to see a game in Kamloops or Kelowna. Let's see, what it could do, and then
I think they're doing 2 games. It hasn't been announced what games or who they're playing yet, or any of that. But I believe they did say BC has to do 2 games and Toronto 3. So I think they're going to set up a stadium somewhere and they'll play both games there.
But wasn't the Victoria Stadium wasn't most of it? I guess bleachers and
they
non-permanent seating.
Yeah, they expanded it. Remember years back when they did the roof on BC Place? They set up that one stadium. I think it was 15,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just temporary. It was like scaffolding.
Where was that?
Sticks and wires.
Chilliwack?
No, I think it was still in the Greater Vancouver area. I just can't remember where they set it up. Was it Burnaby?
Let us know. Prairie Land Rentals text line. We know.
Empire Field. Yep.
What's that? Empire Field. Where is that? What's the address?
Hastings Park, Vancouver.
Sounds sketchy.
Well, if it's got Hastings in the name, because I think it's East Hastings is the sketchy street out there.
We have, I don't know, can I read this text from Brett? No question Kelly would be all over Just Bins. That's a good one. Okay, yeah, so if you're out in BC and you're listening, let us know. Are there any other stadiums we don't know about? What's up in Prince George? Let's go way north.
No, the Kodiaks.
Let's take it north.
They just got a CJFL team a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Beautiful up there. Nice clean air. Northern BC swing through there. Greg's here from the Piffles podcast. It is the Sports Cage. We're going to come back with our clutch performer. We're streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM. All right, I'm going Blue Jays yesterday. It was pretty hairy for the Blue Jay fans. They were up. And then Cincinnati came back, tightened things up. But how about George Springer? 4 at-bats, 3 hits, 3 ribbies, 2 home runs. Jerry's boy, getting it done for the Blue Jays. You got one?
I'm going to Jaden Dahlke after the Labor Day Classic. Left the game, went to the hospital, came back, apparently went streaming down the corridor, and went back in the game. And he's made the CFL honor roll this week. Only reason why I know he went to the hospital, it was brought up in the game balls by when they were handing out, and he got the special teams chain because he came back on special teams after going to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
What hospital did he get in and out of?
I'm assuming Pasqua.
Did he go to the urgent care center in Albert Street there? It was a quick in and out?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I got to talk to Dave and ask him how come no reporters on this beat.
Come on, Davey. Tell him. Yeah, man, good on him. Somebody asked me the other day, somebody was thinking about going to the hospital, and I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you on Tuesday. No, that's nothing. Again, the nurses would lifeblood tell me about, like, I could not do that gig at all. Okay, yeah, those are good ones. Clutch Performer for Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson Challenger Rogator Gleaner and Fent dealer. You can call 781-1077. All right, so the high school football season, we're going to get into Friday Night Lights here right away. The one thing we didn't touch a lot on is the Regina League in this one, but they fired up last week, and then we got games tomorrow as well at Libel, Johnson, Belfort. You're a Moosomin kid.
Yeah.
Belfort, Johnson, Winston, Noel, Campbell at Libel tomorrow, and then at Mosaic, O'Neill against Sheldon Williams, and Tom against Martin Luther.
But now my daughter's going to O'Neill. I guess I'm pulling for O'Neill. So go Titans.
My son's going to Martin, so he's a Martin Luther guy. No, let's go. Here it is. First episode, first segment, first go-around with Friday Night Lights.
Time now for Friday Night Lights, your weekly look at the exciting high school football scene in Saskatchewan. Brought to you by Warren Steinley, Member of Parliament at Regina Louvain, and always on Saskatchewan's side.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage, the home of local sports in Saskatchewan. If you're watching at sportscage.com through YouTube, or maybe you're on the streams, as always, and we got 620 CKRM, the radio station, the stick, as they call it. We started this last year with so much fun. Friday Night Lights, a chance to showcase high school football in the province. A lot of times the city leagues get the notoriety and they get the focus. Last year we kind of opened it up, 9-a-side, 6-a-side, the 12-a-side that's not in the city. Not that we're not going to cover the city, but just something different. People loved it. So thanks for all the feedback we got. Again, hi@sportscage.com. That's hi@sportscage.com. If you want us to promo one of your teams, your community's team, and what's going on there, if there's a homecoming game or a big fundraiser and all that, let us know. We'd love to do it. This is our first one, and this year it's brought to you by Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain, always on Saskatchewan's side. He was pumped to jump on board with this promo this year. There's some games coming up this weekend. Last weekend it started on the 12-a-side front, 5A style. One game I want to showcase there this Friday, coming up in Swift Current, 4 o'clock. Swift Current is home to Moose Jaw Peacock. That should be a good one. On the 4A 9-a-side, Thursday, coming up, 4 o'clock, Melville is home to Esterhazy, and Yorkton Sacred Heart is home to Foam Lake. That's coming up Thursday, so that's tomorrow in both of those places. Should be good ones there. All right, let's look at a little 2A 6-a-side, the provincial champs from Clavet. They put up 90 in the provincial final last year. They are on the road. They're starting Friday night, 7:15. There's got to be some bulbs in play in Watrous. Watrous is hosting Clavet there. And then 1A 6-a-side, we got games coming up Friday. Carrot River is going to be in St. Brew. And then Southie, Cupar, the Highway 22 Storm, or 22 Strikes, call them the Highway 22 Weapons too. 4 o'clock in Southie, big game. They're having a big event in Southie. Here, you'll find out throughout the promo this year. I want to try and talk to some coaches, maybe some players. Southie and Cupar always been supporting, emailing us at hi@sportscage.com. So I had a chance to catch up with head coach of the 22 Storm, Jarrett Ross. All right, Jarrett Ross, let's talk about the 22 Storm. I was calling them the Highway 22 Storm. I guess it's Southie and Cupar. First off, I want to talk about that. How challenging is it as a coach when you kind of got kids from two different centers? Mind you, they're not that far away, but what challenges does that pose?
Actually, it's been not too bad as far as our co-op, but I guess the challenges would be certain players getting to practice or having to travel a little bit farther for practice because we alternate sites.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do 1 week of practices in Saudi, and then the next week we will do practices out of QPAR. So it's kind of 50-50, and so, if somebody is on the other side of Saudi and they need to travel to QPAR, either them or their parents have to just travel that much farther for, half the season, I guess.
And you were telling me that you guys do the morning practices. That must make things easier, obviously?
Yes and no. I guess it's easier for our farm kids because usually, at this time of, during football season, all the farmers are in the field. And so if we have morning practices, they can go home after school, like now at 3 o'clock and go help in the field.
Okay, let's do some name dropping here. Who are the key players? Who are maybe the grade 12s that you're going to be looking to kind of carry this team this year?
Not sure who our key players are yet because we really only have one returning starter. Like we had so many grade 12s last year. Yeah, so for grade 12s, we got, so Brody Meyer, a new quarterback. We got Jacob Kubik, who's also in grade 12. He's basically the only returning starter from previous years. We got Cam McDougall, who's going to be one of our running backs. We got Luke Hanrider, who's also going to be one of our running backs. They're going to play a big part. Mason Ermel is a grade 12 lineman. And then we got, we're going to be leaning on some of our grade 11s for sure to play step up, and it'll be some of their first years as starters. So some of those grade 11s would be like Jack Arthur, Andrew Mills, Braden Ashenbrenner, Jackson Huber. Those are some of our grade 11s that will probably get lots of playing time on both sides of the ball.
Hey, 6-a-side, and I've watched 9-a-side in my time. I've never really watched 6-a-side, and we did have some people message us saying, what are the different rules that you would play in 6-a-side ball, Jared?
A lot of the rules are the same. Like for we follow Canadian football, high school football rules, but I guess the different rules is instead of having 5 men on the line of scrimmage, like 9 men, we only need to have three people lined up on the line of scrimmage. So depending on your team and your talents, I mean, it would look like a regular 12-man or 9-man where you just line up 3 linemen and then 2, and then you run up the middle or off tackles or whatever, or you can go full spread, and then it looks more like like a flag football, where you just use the whole field, and your linemen are still on the line, but they're more like tight ends or receivers type thing. Our kicks are a little bit different. I think it was high school wide in 9-man and 12-man field goals, maybe not 12-man, sorry, but field goals are now worth 4 points, and our converts are opposite. So if we kick for a convert, it's worth 2 points, and if we just do a regular play from the 5-yard line, it's only worth 1 point. They switched that around like 20 or 25 years ago, maybe, to try to develop the kicking game in 6-man, because prior to that there was like no kicking at all.
That's really interesting. And then I think it was somebody from Montana messaged in and asked, is it like it's 3 downs to get 10 yards, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. And then, Kate, closing on this, I want to know what's the big rivalry game?
Probably our rivalry game in this year would be against Lemberg. We just dropped back down to 1A. Last year when we first joined with Saudi and QPAR, we were actually in the 2A division, so we were playing in a different conference against Wynyard and Ituna, and so we dropped back down. So now we got all brand new teams. We got Lemberg, which they're not brand new. We've played against them multiple times in the past, and they're in our school division.
And Lemberg's coming up here this week.
Yeah, first game.
Nice.
First game Friday. So, we play them twice this year because we're a little bit closer to each other. So we'll do a home and home against them.
Like, I don't know if it's out at Saudi or if it's the games in QPAR or how it goes, but I heard the chili's dynamite.
Yeah, I know we've had our parent committees. They'll usually do one night that's chili. We've had chili and QPAR here at our night game. The game is in Friday. Friday is in Saudi, and I think they're having like an open house, welcome their parents and families to the school, and I think they're having like a big burger, barbecue, and hot dogs and all sorts of stuff like that. So
good luck this season, Jared. Thanks so much for doing this.
All right, thanks for the call.
This is going to be a lot of fun all year. Again, let us know. hi@sportscage.com. Our high school correspondents are all out sick this year, so we need you to let us know what's going on in your area. Thanks to Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain, always on Saskatchewan's side. He loves the high school football thing too. Warren Steinley, MP for Regina Louvain. It is the Sports Cage. We are the home of local sports in Saskatchewan. We're streaming at sportscage.com. We're on the streams and always on 620 CKRM. Welcome back for Regina Motor Products. Early tire swap offers on right now till October 31st. If you're going to get that rubber changed over, get to RMP, visit RMP, find out online, give them a call. Greg from the Piffles podcast. Does your mom call you Gregory?
Only when I was in trouble, and also only when the RCMP wants to talk to me officially.
Oh, do tell. Mooseman, RCMP, shout out. Colson's riding shotgun. Kate, we're playing SaskTel Pick the Score. And I love throwing it out there, and then some people forget. So if you ever wanted to play Pick the Score, now's a really good time. There's a handful in right now. Riders, Bombers, Saturday. What's the score? 936-6262. Closest two also has a chance to win a $200 gift card, but somebody today is going to walk away with tickets to the game against Montreal. It's all brought to you by SaskTel. Thank you very much, SaskTel. The Saskatchewan Rough Rider Foundation 50-50 this week.
Ooh.
Did you hear about the early bird prize?
I have not.
It's a Mexico all-inclusive.
Ooh.
I think they forgot to tell us where to.
Yeah, I was going to say, which side? Are we talking Riviera? Are we talking Caribbean?
It's a 5-star.
Oh, it's a 5-star. So
it's going to be dialed, doesn't matter. Flights, all-inclusive, transfers, all that. Or you can just take $5,400 in cash, get your 50-50 before Thursday at 5 p.m. if you want to be in for the early bird at riders5050.ca. Now, if you're playing SaskTel Pick the Score, you might as well get some winning in, because the Rams are opening up it's their home opener Friday at Libel against the Alberta Golden Bears, 7 p.m. SportsCage is going to be on location before that, by the way. We have 2 tickets to that game Friday, Rams game, 2 youth Ram hoodies or smaller hoodies, and 2 water bottles. 936-6262. All you got to say, the key word is Rams. Did you hear about that Rams game in Calgary?
I saw the last minute of it.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
I've never, again, talking to Perry Nice at the Rider game on Saturday, been around a lot of football, watched a lot of football with, was it 6 seconds left and you're down 9?
Yep.
I have never seen that. Touchdown, okay. 2-point convert, okay. You're still down 1. And then you kick it through the end zone.
You put a rocket in that thing.
I watched the kick, and it's not as easy as it looks to track, especially on a CFL field, which is like a parking lot. You know, if that thing is kicked, the missile like it was,
yep.
But the chances of that happening were wild. Rams pull it out in overtime. They win. We're going to talk to one of the Rams players tomorrow here on the program. Now, the Thunder and Hilltops Saturday night
slugfest. It's gonna be awesome.
Mosaic
7:00.
Spiro's got the pizza warm.
Better.
How many people would they get to that game?
It's gonna be a couple thousand probably.
That, and if you've never been to a Thunder game, go. But if you want to go for your first
one, this is gonna be the best football game by far this year, probably.
Who did the Hilltops lose to again?
The Winnipeg Rifles.
Yeah. So
in Winnipeg.
2-1.
2-1.
Thunder 3-0.
Yep.
Massive game. Do they play?
Hilltops need this one. Hilltops can't afford to drop both of us. Both games to the Thunder, because if they do, that Thunder are going to walk into first place.
When do they play up there?
That is, we used to do a home and home, and that is no longer the case. Okay. I want to say Thunder have this game, then we have 2 against Winnipeg, then we play the Hilltops.
Are you going to that game?
Which one?
In Saskatoon.
Oh, of course.
Okay. If you got a spot, I might.
Okay.
And if you're cruising, or if you're on the bus. I was golfing Holiday Park last weekend, and the Hilltops were playing their home opener.
Yeah.
Fireworks going off, everything.
One thing I'll say about the Hilltops, if I have to say something nice about them, they do a good game.
Sarge coached me, so I like the guy. He's as intense as you think. The one thing I like about the Hilltops, they got nice gear.
They do, actually.
They got nice hoodies and shorts, and you can buy it all. It's all good. But it's 7 o'clock kickoff?
7 o'clock kickoff.
That Borsch?
Peter Borsch, yep.
Yeah. And then quarterback position?
Mosher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the kid's name that's playing college now out west?
Out west. Sadiq.
Yeah.
Yeah, UBC.
Yeah, and they upset Manitoba.
The Big 4-6, as he liked to call himself when he was playing for the Thunder, which is funny because he was technically 1B. Rylan Likert was 1A. So, yeah, the Thunder running game has always been good.
7 p.m. Saturday, Mosaic Stadium. I think it looks like a nice... let me just look at the long-term forecast here.
It's supposed to be a beautiful night for football, last I checked.
Yeah.
But also, I should probably mention, there's going to be... we're collecting food as well before that game, so non-perishable food items. There's going to be some hampers available around the gate number 1, so bring items.
Hopefully no one has to run to the hospital in that game.
Yeah,
because they won't be getting in.
They won't be they won't be getting in and out like Dalkey did. That's for sure.
No, it's a good watch. Friday night, nice. It's little cool, so perfect for football. And it's the 2 provincial rivals. How many buses did they bring down?
Yeah, usually 2.
Yeah, so the Hilltops will be in full effect. Get out there and watch it. Or Friday. It's the Alberta Golden Bears and U of R Rams, 7 p.m. at Leibel Field. A lot of people are coming in for Rams tickets. That's right, 936-6262. 2 tickets, 2 hoodies, 2 water bottles, and you can go watch the Rams play. You should have brought some Thunder tickets.
We're giving some away at Piffles, so follow Piffles on socials.
There you go. Follow Piffles and bring some food on Saturday night. What, that 50-50? I just saw a release, largest ever.
Last week at the Labor Day. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Just shy of 1.5. Colson, what was it last year, Labor Day? You had the info on that. Wasn't it like 1.2? 1.2, 1.2?
Yeah, 1.2 something. Because it was funny because at halftime, we were up there, and a guy who follows that very closely was like, they're almost at the record. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you follow. I don't pay attention.
I asked the gentleman that I always buy from. It's great. Calls me Trisha because it's all under my wife's name. I bought the 50. I'll be real here. I bought the 50, and then guys beside me, and I'm like, I think we should have just pooled together and bought the 200.
Yeah,
smarter play. So then I ask him, I'm like, the winners, do they always or mostly come from that 200 pool? And he goes, yep. And I'm like, damn it. Just gave $50 donation to the Rider Foundation, which the money goes to a good cause. I'm like, ugh. Pool the money together and get to 200. 1.48 million. Would that be a CFL record?
I'm sure.
Probably.
Regular season probably. I'm sure there's a Grey Cup that went higher.
Only if it's here.
Yeah.
Well, like the 2013 Grey Cup, they let it run the whole week too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I remember going to the festivities and all around 50-50.
Yeah, see, I don't remember going to the festivities and the 50-50, but I was there.
I was 16, so.
You're in the prime. Mm-hmm. No, that's a big number. And then we talked about this earlier in hour 1, if you haven't heard. The Riders for the Montreal game, today only, certain sections, $23 tickets and $34 tickets.
Legend pricing. George and Ronnie.
Legend numbers, legend price. I like it. You can complain as much as you want about the Riders and how they do things and how they're creative with their ticket prices. They've made it really affordable.
They've gotten better. And don't get me wrong, the criticism they got a couple years ago, probably well deserved. They've been way better recently.
Did you hear about the NHL today? You were kind of dialed on this when they're making some changes for next season. They're getting rid of some exhibition games.
They're really pushing for that 84 game schedule, which will make more money for the owners. So in doing so, they'll be shortening the preseason, and they're throwing more money at the players for the postseason. And yeah,
postseason salary cap going up.
No.
That's 26, 27.
Yeah.
So not this year.
No.
Shortened preseason, 84 games, Stanley Cup awarded in mid-June, which I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of when it usually is anyways. But because of the 84, some people are thinking, it might be playing in July long weekend.
Yeah, and you got to think the players didn't want to give up more of their summer anyways, because I remember when they were giving the Stanley Cup out in May, and now it's almost, the long weekend in July.
It is. It's nuts. And then regular season going to begin in September. So that's a nice touch if you didn't catch that from the NHL today. We'll go to break here. Colson's telling us it's SportsCage. Thanks to everyone who's hitting the like button, Colson says, on the stream at sportscage.com through our YouTube channel. And if not, we are on the old trusty 620 CKRM. Riders are back on the practice field today. Things look pretty status quo, but a lot of talk around Brent Lather again. Coach Maist was asked, how many chances will Lather get to perform?
Until we see that he doesn't, but hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Major League Baseball, Toronto Blue Jays, Cincinnati Reds. That one is set to go at 4:30 Saskatchewan time, 12-9 win for the Jays last night over the Reds. They're only 2.5 up on the Yankees and Red Sox. Getting scary there. Western Hockey League preseason. Swift Current hosting the Regina Pats, 7 o'clock. Saskatoon Blades go up to Prince Albert. SJHL preseason, Flin Flon Larange doing the northern thing at 7:30 tonight. SportsCage poll, which preseason favorite is most likely to win the Super Bowl? Vote at sportscage.com. In hour 2, the ticker is for Extreme Hockey and Sport, where they have the price match guarantee right now. If you find anything cheaper, they'll match it, and get in there and check out the new Bauer Flylight gear as well. They're local. There are Hockey Store, Extreme Hockey and Sport. Hour 3 is coming up with Chris Getzlaf from earlier today. It is the Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Hour 3 of the show. Thanks for making time, like the big voice said there, for Regina Motor Products. All of our guests have been joining us on the Western Pizza guest hotline. And the Prairie Land Rentals text line is buzzing. 936-6262 Prairie Land Rentals. Getting to that time of the year where you're trying to plan out, can I get this project done before winter? It's only September.
I've made the mistake of starting the interior projects already. It was paint in the boys' room this past weekend, so.
Yeah, and it was hot.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to do this week because it's a little cooler. Crack a couple windows.
Well, that south bedroom gets a lot of heat on it when you close the door because you're doing behind the door.
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good by the end of it. Let's put it that way.
It's like Coach Mace at the end of the game and in the post-game show there, how sweaty he was, and he went off, and it was just like, but it was hot. Yeah. So anyway, Prairie Land Rentals, and then if you need to buy anything, Husqvarna, they're your place to go. Text line. We're giving away Rams tickets for Friday night home opener, Alberta Golden Bears. Let's go Rams. It's going to be a good one at Libel, 7 p.m. You're also going to walk away with 2 Youth Rams hoodies and 2 water bottles. All you got to do is keyword is Rams on that one. But a lot of people are also doing pick the score. Riders Bombers. Chance to win tickets to the game against Montreal. That's today. And then closest 2 wins a $200 SaskTel gift card.
If you're entering, I need your name. You have to give me your name.
Yeah, that's kind of key.
Can't just text Rams. Can't just text the score. I need your name. Bare minimum.
How about a name? If you had to pick the score, what would it be
for this weekend?
I'm bad at this game.
The Banjo Bowl is the worst. Like, we've had blowouts, we've had close ones, we've been blown out. I'm feeling lucky. This came out as a pick'em.
Very Chapin Carpenter style.
According to Piffle's picks, this week is an official pick'em. So I am going to go 36-24. Your Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Wow. How about a Oliveira over under on rushing yards?
Where are we at?
I'll give you 90.
Under.
Wow. You're really betting with your heart.
No, not with this defensive line. He had 5 touches, 24 yards. Yes, they better. If I'm Winnipeg, you better go to Oliveira more. But this defensive line with with I lost my train of thought. I'm not used to Colson pointing around. We're back to hour one.
What's that Seinfeld episode? Frank Costanza, when he loses his train of thought. You couldn't... Something silk sheet. I lost my train of thought.
Regardless, this defensive line holds running backs to a minimum. I think under 100 is easy. Should we go to break?
Okay, we're all good on this front. I want to say the Riders win. And it's just so important because I think Calgary is going to slap around Edmonton at Commonwealth Stadium.
And that's the name of the game right now. The Riders just need to keep on staying one game ahead of Calgary as much as they can.
Yeah, well, exactly. Okay, do you want to play this guy? I played this with Farhan, I think, last week. Stampeders remaining schedule. Okay, let's go.
I've already looked at this.
Chikai. Okay. Stampeders at the Elks this Saturday.
Stamps win.
Lions at Stampeders September 19th.
They got a second game against the Lions, right?
Yes.
Okay, the Stamps win that one.
Stampeders traveling into La Belle Province.
That's a hard trip. It's going to depend on who's playing quarterback. If Davis Alexander's back, that's an easy Al's win.
That's an easy Al's win. You heard it here.
St. Catherine flu is a real thing.
You heard it here first. Okay, then they're going to take on the Lions in British Columbia October 4th.
BC wins that game. They'll get a split.
See, this is almost exactly, I think, what Farhan was thinking too. So that's 2 losses, you think. Now, here's the game I think they lose. October 11th, Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. They travel to the Hammer.
I think Bo Levi needs to win that game. I think Hamilton is going to be in a dogfight for first against Montreal at that point.
That's also their second cross-country trip because they go to Montreal, the BC, to Hamilton.
Yeah. So I think that could be a loss for them. But yeah, I think Hamilton is going to need that game more than Calgary at that point.
Geography lessons from Colson brought to you by Rand McNally. Okay, then the Argonauts in Calgary. Trap game. It's the second last game of the season.
I think Calgary's going to win that one. Doesn't matter if it's Chad Kelly or Arbuckle.
And then the Stamps close out the season against pseudo Edmonton Huskies, Edmonton Wildcats team, and the Edmonton Elks.
Elks win that game because Calgary is probably going to be resting everybody.
But will they, if it means a lot with the whole Rider first place? I still think they win the game.
But at that point, we've already got 3 Calgary losses. I don't think the Riders are losing 3 games in the next little bit either.
3 losses, eh? 3. I'm not sure.
Because if Calgary's got 3, that means Saskatchewan would have to have 4, and I don't see that happening.
I don't know about... Yeah, see the Als quarterback situation.
That's the big question mark right there.
So sketchy. We don't know. Okay, you're getting a lot of names now for Rams tickets, Colson, on the Prairie Land Rentals text line.
But make sure it's their name, not someone else's name. Very important. It has to be your name.
Going through the text line here in a question. Nathan, thanks for the message. Will the Pats be contenders this year? Are you talking Regina Pats or are you talking New England Patriots? Because NFL starts tomorrow.
I took Drake May in one of my fantasy drafts.
How many are you in?
My 3rd draft is tonight.
That's ludicrous. I don't play fantasy football, so I admire all you guys. I tried to do it once, don't pay attention enough, don't care. Tried to play fantasy hockey. That was another thing. It's
I used to play. I used to play pucks. I can't do it anymore. It's too much scheduling in and out. The thing about football, you set it and sometimes you forget it. It's fine. But
can you get that off the screen?
See, now it's distracting you.
If you're talking about the New England Patriots, no, they won't be a contender.
Hey, come on. Where's the fandom in you?
See? My head, not my heart. I'm very curious to watch them, though. They got so much money to spend.
I think the team's going to be significantly better this year, but that's Buffalo's division to win right now.
No, they will be better.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them beat the Jets twice because that's a team that can never figure it out.
No.
Although, who do you root for between the Jets and then Aaron Rodgers when he goes in there? That's tough. You can't take a tie.
Stadium fire. Everyone gets out safely, but stadium fire.
Okay. If you're talking about the New England Patriots, no. If you're talking about the Regina Pats, we hope to make the playoffs this year. It could be some exciting hockey to watch, no doubt about it. Are the Riders a better team than Winnipeg?
Yes.
Besides stats-wise, are we the real deal? Yes. I think the Riders are a better team than Winnipeg, although I think Winnipeg is better than I thought they were.
I think the mystique of Winnipeg is gone. Like they're an older team. They've kept that core together too long.
It's like Polo Park.
Exactly.
The mystique is gone.
The mystique is gone.
Just a little shot at you Winnipegites out there. We've had a few text messages. Actually, there was a couple down below from Winnipeg fans that I couldn't read. Gary from Winnipeg though sent one in. And he agreed with what we were talking about earlier, that the 3 Argo games played in Hamilton, Winnipeg, and Regina for the home teams. Anything else makes no sense. I think they should play the games. What did we find out about stadiums? There's a couple bigger ones than we thought. The one's a concrete jungle. There's no way they're playing at, I had it up
Lamport.
Yeah. And they're playing like cricket there or something.
Apparently that's the practice facility for the Argos, but it's set up to be rugby, soccer, and apparently can hold 9,000, but it looks like your stereotypical Detroit concrete jungle.
Yeah. And then Western is...
Western is
85?
75.
See, that's a good size. But allegedly, it was MLSC's decision, and you can't configure a stadium. I would have loved to see a game played at Gordie Howe Bowl.
So here's the thing with MLSC. It's one thing when you have a company coming in doing Touchdown Atlantic and paying all those licensing fees. No one's going to do Touchdown Western for a couple of games while the World Cup is on.
I'm not following on that. You don't think they're going to draw?
I think it's one thing when you have a company paying to advertise that helps offset your fees, but when MLSC has to dig into their own pocketbook to pay for the stadium upgrade,
I need to know what the upgrade would be. Like I said earlier, right? Like how much is there? There's got to be more than I'm thinking about. But then again, this is the same team that has 2 different turfs in their end zone at their current home stadium. So I'm just, is it?
I think what Greg's saying is it's from their own pocketbook completely. Whereas with Touchdown Atlantic, you've got the CFL putting money up for this too.
Right? And some of it's coming out of your own pocket to ship them to Winnipeg and Regina.
Completely.
But this way, let's be honest, another home game for the Riders will be more butts in the seats, more money in the pocket than what it would be to expand a 7,500 seat stadium.
See, I don't know
Ontario.
if you got to expand it. That's the thing. Just let people rock out. Cram in $8,000 if you can get that. Standing room. Let them stand around the back of the end zone like we used to do at Taylor Field or they do at high school games.
I agree.
Let people drive their vehicles right up to the end zone.
But you still have to make sure that, because you also got to remember these U Sport games are not like they're plugged in stadiums like they're in the States where you already have all your TV, where you have all your amenities, where you have all the stuff that these pro players will want / need.
It just it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So
I think it's a bad mistake for the market. You're salting your market by doing this.
And what did they release the cut? It's their home game, but the Riders are going to be putting in a lot of elbow grease, a lot of work here and all that. What are they taking? Is it like a senior hockey game 3 of a provincial half and half?
We haven't seen
an alleged half and half.
Well, we haven't said anything. We haven't seen anything on it. I wouldn't be shocked if it's similar to what the teams in the league do for playoff games. Playoff games are a league game that the teams can go and buy off of the league. So there's a set dollar amount that the team pays for to own that game, and then whatever they make above and beyond that is in nothing but profit. Riders did that early when they started making the playoffs. So I wouldn't be shocked if...
And that's still a thing?
It has been, yeah.
I'd like to know that number, too. You're a wealth of knowledge. Greg from the Piffles Podcast. That's the kind of info you get at the Piffles Podcast, people. Download it now.
And the riders are community owned, so we will see the books.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. We will know after, well, not till after next year.
Yeah. And same with Winnipeg. We'll know if they tried to barter against each other. Someone got a different cut, maybe.
Yeah. It's a lot to be seen. All right. We got things queued up, so we're going to go to break. When we come back, earlier today, Chris Getzlaf and I had a little sit down and chat. It is the Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Teed this up earlier. We're recording this in the morning because he's a busy guy. Chris Getzlaf, former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, is joining us. Getz, first off, I want to ask you, I know you're kind of helping out with the Regina Thunder. You were doing a lot in the off season. Where does that stand right now for you?
I just try to get out as much as I can, which, not going to lie, hasn't been as much as I kind of wanted it to be here during the season. My biggest thing is I wanted to be available in the off season when they were, the new offensive coordinator and Carter, and they were just kind of getting the playbook all set up and ready to go, and all the mini camps to start installing that playbook. And I was around for all of that. So I was a big piece kind of in the off season, helping as much as I can, kind of getting them all situated and ready to get going for the start of the season. Summer ends up pretty darn busy for me. And then fall kicks up even more with the work schedule. So it gets a little tougher to get out on a regular basis come this time of year anyway. Either way, super proud of the guys so far. I mean, they're playing outstanding. They got a great team. I think they have great leadership, both by players and by coaches. So, I guess that's where it stands.
We haven't talked in a while. Let's kind of go through where the Riders are right now and what you're seeing as a former, Grey Cup champ, player with the Riders, all that. Where do you see this team now as we get into the rematch of the Labor Day Classic?
I think they're the best team in the league. By leaps and bounds, I don't think so. I think there's things to improve on for sure. I mean, there always is. But overall, I think they're really well-rounded. All three phases of the game, they got a really good team. So fairly deep. I know I like their odds this year. That's for sure. I mean, obviously you got to have some key positions, stay healthy. I mean, that's just like any other team though. But no, I really like how they look. Obviously, 2 losses, both to Calgary is tough. But Calgary has a really good team too. So, I mean, a couple things to clean up for those matches that they dropped. But overall, I mean, they're winning and they're playing well, right? So I don't think they can look at many of the other games and be like, oh, they really didn't play good here or there. I think all three phases pretty outstanding. Defense has shown signs of brilliance for numerous games, and the offense just seems to kind of click away with quite a bit of efficiency.
They win the Labor Day Classic. This is kind of a 2-part question. What's your favorite, if there's one, Labor Day Classic memory as a player for you? Then second part, now they go to Winnipeg, which is always a tough place to win in the rematch. Why, from your lens, is that so tough to win there?
Okay. I guess the one that would stand out to, I got two situations when it comes to Labor Day Classic that kind of stand out. One was my rookie year. I wasn't even on the field, but watching Kerry Joseph on a QB draw, take it like 30 yards for a touchdown to win the game. That's pretty iconic kind of play and game. And the other one would just be the final outcome. I think we beat them 56-0 or something.
Yeah.
It was, that's the one where you really stand out, where you just absolutely dominate a football game and send them packing. So when it comes to the Banjo Bowl, that is a hard game. I mean, you're going to an atmosphere, and I imagine it's only gotten worse now when it comes to how loud that building is, seeing the success that they've had over the last 6-7 years. Because even when I was playing and the team really wasn't very good, it was still a real hard place to play because that game was pretty much guaranteed to sell out, just like Labor Day, and the crowds are into it. So it's really loud. It's hard to communicate, and that makes it difficult on any offense.
What's going on offensively now, and it's kind of been a different receiver almost every game. Does that take you back to when you guys had so many, the Canadian Air Force, and you guys had so many different weapons on different teams where the quarterbacks could seem to throw it through? There wasn't like the one guy necessarily. Are you seeing some similarities with this team?
Yeah, I think that there's some similarities there. I mean, a lot of that is just when you have a quarterback that is really efficient and really understands a playbook, and you got a good offensive scheme, which we had back then and they have now, they're able to distribute the ball to whatever's open. And that's what really moves the ball around. Some quarterbacks will get kind of stuck on, the primary read on a route, which is usually going to be, your top guy kind of thing that's going to hog the targets, if you will. But when you have a quarterback like Trevor in there, he really, really understands defenses, and he is able to look around, find the open receiver, and he can usually find who that's going to be right at the snap of the football, which that's what makes him so efficient, and that's why he's got one of the best completion percentages of all time.
Is there one guy on the receiving core that you've been watching that maybe I don't know if there'd be a similarity to you, or just a guy that maybe you have that spot for, that's like, hey, I like what this guy's doing now that we're into the mid part of the season here, a guy that maybe you like?
I mean, I like a lot of them. I think that they all show different areas of strength. I mean, Johnson, I think, is really well-rounded. Seems to get good separation, catches the football real well, pretty decent with yards after the catch. I mean, Emelis hasn't really been in the lineup that much, but I mean, I love his game. I think that he has everything. He's got size, he's got contested catch ability, and he's really good with the ball in his hands, right? Other than that, I mean, Myers has shown some explosive plays. Neld, I don't know if I said that right. He's kind of come on late. Neil, sorry. Yeah. He had a great game. It's nice seeing him catch the long ball there for the touchdown last game. And, that one was a really good finish as well, right? He catches it. There's certainly a chance he gets tackled, but he's able to outrun it and score. So I don't know. I just think that they're pretty well balanced across the board with a bunch of different strengths. And guys are making plays when they're getting the opportunity, and that's what you need.
Do you feel for Brett Lawther? I'm trying to go through your career, and I'm sure there was kickers that had slumps, when you're in the locker room and all that. Do you feel for him? Does it take you back? If you had a chance, or I don't know if you have, what would you say to him?
It's hard to say something that he hasn't heard or that he's not telling himself, right? It's, you're constantly going to hear kind of get out of your head, flush the play, move on to the next, that's what counts and all that. But it's just one of those things where you can feel confident, you can go in when you're in a slump, and maybe you make a couple good kicks and or catch a couple good balls, relating to myself. But as soon as you miss one or you drop that next one, like all those thoughts are right back, right? Because of that slump. You almost need like a pretty good streak to kind of break that, to be like, okay, this is the regular me knocking it through the uprights on a regular basis. And then if you miss one after that, it doesn't phase you the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I totally do feel for him. It's a real hard thing when you're going to get, negative publicity or, backlash on social media, anything like that, right? When you're going through a slump like he's had here. And he's just a great guy and a great guy in the community. And I would love to see him rebound and finish the year strong.
Last thing, Trevor Harris with the punt that kind of takes everybody by surprise and all that. Your playing days, did you guys ever have that play in your playbook where a quarterback, would go back on a third down gamble and punt it like that? Anything come to mind?
I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty positive we did, actually. Well, I know we had the play as a possibility, and I believe that we had done it a couple times in my day, and I'm not even certain if it was Durant or not that did it. But yes, it's certainly a play that you practice as a special situation kind of thing where, if your punter gets hurt or if you're trying to just surprise them, windy day, maybe you got, a big headwind or something and you do a quick snap and the quarterback punts it up in the air and you got a couple onside players to try to get it. So I've definitely seen it before. And it worked out fantastic in the game. Like that was well executed.
Awesome, Chris. Hey, thanks so much for the insight. This has been awesome. I know you're a busy guy, and I really appreciate you taking some time today.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you having me.
Toronto Blue Jays and Cincinnati Reds going at it again right now as we speak. I'm trying to get a score. 5-1, top of the fourth. For the Reds. Jays 2.5 up on the Red Sox and Yankees going into the one tonight. Some Western Hockey League preseason action in the province. Swift Currents hosting the Regina Pats. The Blades are traveling into Paradise to take on the Raiders. Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League way up north. LA, the Ice Wolves are hosting Flin Flon. SportsCage.com poll today. Which preseason favorite is most likely to win the Super Bowl? Greg?
You already told me not to bet with
Buffalo. We got Buffalo, Baltimore, Philly, Kansas City, Detroit.
This might be Josh Allen's year, I think.
I like it. The sports ticker in hour 3 is for Steelcraft Doors, Regina. Made in Western Canada for Western Canada. If you need a garage door, they got a 40,000 square foot warehouse. They probably have it. Steelcraft Doors, Regina. We're going to hear Dave Thomas and Logan Ferland in a bit, and we still have the junior football report because there's a massive game coming up at Mosaic on Saturday, 7 p.m. kickoff, Thunder Hilltops. Can I pick the score on that one?
Go ahead.
Thunder 34.
Ooh.
Hilltops 31.
Could very well be. It is going to be a slugfest. They're going to be throwing haymakers, both figuratively and literally.
Yeah. No fighting in the stands. Kind of like did you see the videos of the Bombers and Rider fans going at it?
I thought that was from last year, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think
they fooled me.
I think it was a replay from last year. I don't think that'll happen this year.
It's too hot. Too hot to throw. But then the beer and all that. But yeah, it was.
That's the worst part of that 5 o'clock game. There was a lot of time to pregame on that one.
I've never been in one, but at a stadium, I'm wondering: do you want to be the low guy or do you want to be the high guy? I think you want to be the low guy, and then be able to throw back.
Yeah, you unlike Star Wars, where you want the higher ground. I think on.
I've never seen Star Wars.
In a stadium fight, I think you want to be below because I think, you want the momentum of throwing the guy over top of you as opposed to just landing on a guy.
Yeah. We'll see if they'll see how things go down in Winnipeg. You guys got the bus? Piffles Podcast?
Bus leaves on Friday. Heading around.
How many stops? What are the planned stops? You need smoking stops. How many?
Actually, we it's a trim thing. There's like a stop probably on the way there around Brandon.
Mooseman.
On the way back, Red Barn, baby.
Red Barn.
Red Barn.
Let's go. On the way back?
On the way back. On the way up, it's usually one stop around Brandon. Get a pee in, get a drink.
Yeah.
Get some snacks.
Don't you have to, you got to slow down in Brandon? Don't you got to slow down in Verdun too?
I think Verdun to Brandon.
And then there's all that close to Winnipeg where you got to really pay attention to the, it's like driving to Minot. I try to boycott driving to Minot anymore. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you go down here and then up. And then it's like, this is just speed trap. Come on. You're not allowed to have a radar detector in North Dakota.
Same thing with Manitoba.
That's right. Screw you, Manitoba. I'm bucking the trend. When I drive there again, I'm going right out to play dumb with my radar detector. Man, we covered a lot of stuff. We covered a lot of stuff today. We didn't even get into the retirement of numbers. That'll be the next time.
Oh, I can rant about that anytime.
We'll have a debate on that. Thanks to everyone who's been playing Pick the Score. Still got a few minutes left. 936-6262. Riders, Bombers. Colson's got tickets in his hand for the Montreal game on the 13th. And if you're closest to, you get a chance to win a $200 Sastel gift card. We talked about the Foundation 50-50. I'll hit that tomorrow right before 5 p.m. a lot because you got a chance to win in the early bird New Mexico all-inclusive 5-star style, or you can take $5,400 cash. Rider5050.ca. And oh my, do people want to win Rams tickets? That's awesome to see. It's going to be a great game, just like the Thunder game. Friday night at Leibel, they open up against the Alberta Golden Bears. Excitement in that league last week. We're giving away 2 tickets, 2 youth Ram hoodies, and 2 water bottles. You just had to text in the keyword Rams. We'll have that again tomorrow, too.
Put your name on it.
Tomorrow at on the show. We'll see if we can get 2 out of them. We'll see if we can get 2. We got some other little prizes kicking around too that I found from some of our sponsors. So it's good. Colson, should we go to Furlan? Is Furlan in there? So we got 3 still? Yeah. Okay. What about before we go? NFL. Tomorrow.
Cowboys, Eagles?
So I don't think there's anybody. I'm sure there's some diehard Cowboy fans that think they can pull it out. 8.5-point spread.
Ooh.
Eagles at home. Dallas has been a bit of a dumpster fire. I can't wait till you watch the Netflix series on it.
I texted a guy I know the other day and asked why Jerry Jones hates the team he owns.
He definitely doesn't. He is such a gambler, and he's got a lot of money. So he thinks that makes him make the best decisions.
But here's the thing. Earlier you told me never to bet with my heart. What would you tell Jerry Jones in the situation? Because obviously he's not getting it done. At some point he's got to do something.
Yeah. I just watched the Deion Sanders part yesterday when he signed Deion for that 35 schmil or whatever it was. I think he really screwed himself on a knee-jerk reaction, kind of, signing Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb to those big deals.
Probably.
I think the Ezekiel Elliott deal that years ago.
Yeah, that was a big
deal. I
deal.
think he should have learned from that. Dak Prescott, come on. Eyeball test here. He is not worth that money.
Oh, hell no.
And CeeDee Lamb, yeah, you know what? But if you don't have the right pieces around it, yeah, so how's Green Bay? How are the Green Bay fans right now?
That defense was already really good. It is going to be even better.
And they open up at home against Detroit.
Detroit's in trouble.
That's a good game. That's just an afternoon tilt too, because the Sunday nighter, oh mama, Baltimore Buffalo.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
Followed by the Vikes and Chicago on Monday. Am I working on Monday? Yeah, I am.
Here's the problem, though. I need good news. They finally announced today that the Red Zone channel will have commercials this year. Official commercials. Breaks. Right. What happened to 7 hours of commercial-free football?
Yeah. ESPN.
We can't have nice things anymore.
Disney and Patriots home to the Las Vegas Raiders.
That should be a win.
Patriots are a 2.5-point favorite.
I like it. Smash that.
All right. Thanks for coming in. Piffles Podcast. Next up, is a new episode out?
A new episode came out this morning, or last night, I guess.
What's the, give us a tease.
We talked about the Labor Day Classic, obviously, and look ahead to the Banjo Bowl.
And finding out where you should stop for smoke breaks.
And that too.
On the way to Winnipeg. Greg from the Piffles Podcast, you can download that newest episode or any of the episodes and listen to it. We're going to go Dave Thomas and Logan Furland here, and then when we come back from break, we still have the Junior Football Report. It is a Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com.
Did you take a moment to celebrate and reflect upon what happened during the Labor Day Classic? That must have been quite the emotional high.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think just spending time with my family the night after the game. I used to do a fire with the family, and a few guys come over, so that's kind of the time we take to reflect, and then the rundown the next day. Obviously, we're watching the film, seeing what we need to correct, and then after that, it's wiped and we're on to the next.
When you look at this week coming up against the same opponent, easier or harder to prepare because there's a lot of unknowns, right? They may make an adjustment along the way.
Yeah, it could be both, right? We don't really know till we get there in the game of. We're prepared. We're prepared for anything that can possibly happen, and that's the important part, is just never having that moment of not sure what we're going to do in this situation, but always have a game plan based on what they could do.
You talked about the noise and how loud it's anticipated to be in Winnipeg. What's the biggest challenge or hurdle to overcome? Is that in the huddle?
I wouldn't say in the huddle. I'd say communication on the field once you're out of the huddle. Signals are key. Everyone needs to be on the same page, and like I said, not every call is going to be perfect. So we need to be on the same page, even if I don't get a call out.
How does your life change with Trevor Harris trying to call out a cadence in behind you and you trying to pick that up?
Well, I mean, it's all silent, right? So we go off of the same signals everyone uses. Every team comes in here using. We do the same signals, so it's not even necessarily hearing them, but just making sure we all have eyes for everything, and we're all signaling the correct things.
So, Logan, you talk about the challenges in having to use a silent snap count. If you're doing so, how do you keep the Winnipeg Blue Bombers from reading and anticipating when the snap of the ball is going to be?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things we can do. Right, center can do the hand. He can bob his head. He could look between his legs. You see more of that down south. We can also change up the timing. You can have on 2, on 3, whatever you want. You could do a reload cadence where it's a fake tap. You can do a lot of different things to throw the defense off so they can't time it, and I think that's really important, especially going against this defense. Right, they're very experienced at timing that stuff up, like a guy like Willie Jefferson. So being on the same page again is key.
When it comes to rivalries, obviously there's the Riders and the Bombers, but there's also another one right after with the Thunder and the Hilltops. How closely are you watching that one?
Oh, I'm going to be watching that one. That's always a fun one. It was a big rivalry. That was always the rival game for us when I was playing juniors. So I'm excited for the fellas.
They talk about learning to dislike each other. Is that true?
I think deep down, it's like anywhere. You play with a lot of the guys growing up through the province, and then you go on different teams. You're still buddies, but during those whistles, I mean, it is what it is on the field, right? It's all business. But once you're off, then you can high five, do your thing, maybe get after each other a little bit. But for the most part, it's a game, and we're there to compete during the game.
This is the SportsCage Junior Football Report with Dave Thomas.
The Prairie Football Conference returns to action this weekend after a league-wide bye over the Labor Day long weekend. The league-leading 3-0 Regina Thunder will host their provincial rivals, the 2-1 Saskatoon Hilltops, on Saturday night at Mosaic Stadium. The Thunder are coming off a 57-7 victory over the Edmonton Huskies back in Week 3. Head coach Scott McCulloch agrees that it was their most connected effort of the season.
We saw our players come together and take ownership of the team. It was led by our captains, and we felt like we kind of had our most complete game as well. The offense was out there, and they, I think one of the areas that we kind of struggled was having a fast start. And I remember our quarterback, Adam Bush, came off the field and said, "Hey, how do you like that for a fast start?" I think we had 3 touchdowns in the first 3 drives or whatever. So you could tell all the guys were excited to be there. They were focused. They were present during the whole entire game, and it was outstanding. And the defense did a great job turning the ball over and giving it back to our offense in good field position. So things went well.
So having built that momentum and laid that foundation, was it a bad time for the bye week?
That's a great question. We'll find out after this weekend, I guess. But I think for us, like the Hilltops, they've actually had a week off here, and we know that they've had a few personnel changes. So, did they practice? They get some extra practice in? Those new guys that they're going to be putting into this game, are they going to be more experienced because of those extra practices? So, for us, having the ability to get away and to heal up and stuff was great. There was good momentum going into the bye week, but I think our guys are pretty focused right now. But, I think it also gave the Hilltops a little bit of advantage as well with possible new players showing up on the game on Saturday.
Coach, when I talk to your players, they all echo the sentiment of the preparation and the work that you allow them to put into being the most prepared that they can for game day. In looking at this game, obviously it's a rivalry game. Do you want that preparation to change in any way, shape, or form, or can you prevent that knowing that they're an emotional bunch when it comes to playing their provincial rivals?
Yeah, I think what we want to try to do is always keep it kind of consistent each week. Doesn't matter who we're playing or where we are in the standings. We want to do things on a consistent basis, and guys get an understanding sort of the rituals or the flow of the week, and they can make sure that they get things done in a timely manner. But again, going back to the ownership of the players, they've done a great job with watching copious amounts of film and asking great questions. And I feel that also our veterans have done a good job teaching the young guys about our systems and how to play with them and holding each other accountable. So, we're not going to change anything up. We're just going to do what we do. And it's going to be exciting because we are playing against provincial rivals, and there's going to be that extra intensity to the game. But I think right now our guys are pretty calm and starting to, get a good understanding of our game plans and what the Hilltops are going to bring to the table.
Well, before I let you go, Coach, I don't want to get any secrets divulged to us, but what are you anticipating as being the difference makers when you face your provincial rival on Saturday night?
I think ball control. Everything's about the ball. Whoever's ever able to turn the ball over the least amount of times, or the team that's able to cause turnovers the most, is going to be probably the team that goes ahead. Both teams are going to have strong running attacks, and we'll see whoever gets the edge with the physical battle, amongst the linemen.
Shifting our focus north to Saskatoon, and Hilltops head coach Tom Sargent. Rivalry weekend is here, a date that I'm sure has been circled on your calendar for a while.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. So, you know what? We're getting this team right at the right time. Game 4, we're rounding into shape and starting to create a bit of a team identity. And obviously on tape, there's no question Regina Thunder have been the best football team on tape we've seen so far this year. And, as I said, excited to head down to Mosaic and line up Saturday night at 7.
Watching from afar 2 weeks ago against the Winnipeg Rifles, I would suggest the most complete effort that you put on the field this year. Is that true? And does a bye week disrupt some of that momentum?
Well, we certainly had some good energy for the first time all year, but you know what? We had some injuries here and there, so it's it might, in the long run, it might be a blessing getting certain players back. And if we're able to do that and keep building on what we're doing, as I said, I like the way we're trending. I like the direction we're in, and I like the team I'm coaching right now.
There's a lot of things that you can say, statement, measuring stick, all kinds of stuff when it comes to taking on the provincial rival in the Regina Thunder, but also the defending champions in the PFC. Do you see it that way, or is it still all about focusing on the Hilltops doing what they need to do to be successful?
Well, I think it's a combination. Number one, we know right now in our league they're the team to beat. And, we've had that mantle for a long, long time. Last year was an example where, we went through the league 8-0, and then all of a sudden, that's a great thing about football. It's just a one-game showdown. So that's all it's going to be this weekend. We want those 2 points. We control our destiny, and so we want to keep climbing that mountain. And so right now, the Regina Thunder are in that way.
The Regina Thunder and Saskatoon Hilltops will meet Saturday night at 7 at Mosaic Stadium. And that's the Junior Football Report. I'm Dave Thomas.